Ladies and gentlemen, we have Sofia Njoroge, who is also a Kenyan here in Sweden, and she is going to comment on the ongoing Maggero issue. Sofia, welcome to this interview.
Thank you.
Now, you have heard what happened to Mr. Maggero about the funeral arrangements. What do you have to say about the whole issue?
To start with, I want to make a comment on how we came to know that Mr. Maggero was dead. Why was it a secret for the family? I really don't understand. Even Swedes themselves, when someone dies, they don't even hide their neighbor. That my mother passed away yesterday. So, one thing that I got surprised to, why was it a secret? Why didn't they want us to know? Because if not that, for that Kenyan boy that went to the hospital and discovered that Maggero was dead, even up to today, we wouldn't have known.
Now, after that incident where Maggero's death was hidden for 4 days, there was the issue of the family in Kenya being prevented from traveling to Sweden to attend the funeral. What is your comment?
My comment is, since the woman, the so-called Swedish woman, knew about the other family, the first wife of Mr. Maggero, the one that he got married to in the church, through the witness of his father and mother, and he never divorced her, had a kid. One of them has been here, the other one is still living in Kenya. They were never informed. To fail to produce a ticket to come, they were not informed. They came to know that the father was dead, the husband was dead. The same time, we Kenyans, happened to know that Mr. Maggero was dead. So that is why I can't understand how can you buy a ticket if you don't know where you are going. And how will they ever believe that the man was dead? Because for them it is rumors, because they were not informed officially by the Swedish woman who is living here, who have met them, who they knew that was living here with their father.
Now, there is also the issue that this is a purely family affair, and that those Kenyans who are trying to intervene are poking their noses in family business.
This is not a family business because Maggero has a wife and a kid in Kenya. So, how can they call it a family business? This is a one-sided family business. The other family doesn't have anything to do with the dead man. So Maggero didn't belong to the white. He belongs also to the black. Why do they call it a family business? Does it mean the other children of Mr. Maggero, they were not his? Does it mean Maggero had only these white children? That is wrong. If it is a family business, it could have been the Swedish woman called herself Dagmar and the other Kenyan woman. They are the ones to tell us this is a family business. But now we only know this is Dagmar's business. It's not the family's business.
Now, there is also the issue surrounding the fact that there are Kenyans who are also trying to intervene, especially last week when Maggero funeral service was also scheduled on Friday. Do you think Kenyans in Stockholm have a right to try to intervene the way they did?
As a Kenyan living here in Sweden, I think we have each and every right to intervene. The same we are intervening with our dead and our sick friends who are here. Because when we are here, it doesn't matter whether you are Luo, a Kikuyu or a Kalenjin. We are brothers and sisters. Maggero was our senior brother here, the one that we all depended on. That we have to intervene. We have to intervene the same we have been intervening with each and everybody else. That's why we are intervening with his death. And we are concerned because people have been dying here. We have been sending them back home to their mother, to their wives. Why are we not supposed to talk about Maggero, either to send him to his family, to be buried next to his mother, or to bring his wife and child to come and see where their father has been laid down? I wonder, how important is it for him to be kidnapped, not to be buried next to his mother, but to be buried next to the white, to the so-called mother-in-law? I can't understand that one.
Now, another issue is the issue of cremation. How do you look at it?
I think whoever decided that Mr. Maggero has to be cremated, I think that is madness. I've never heard of any black man being cremated. And the way they are saying there was a will for him to be cremated, who is to witness that will? It might be he said it to his wife. Who was to witness it? How do we know whether this woman is not a mad woman creating her own stories just to kidnap Mr. Maggero from the children and the other children? Mr. Maggero had a kid in Finland who knew about the death of his father, and Finland is not very far away from here. It's just a 12 hours with boat or 45 minutes with a flight. He came to know about the death of his father the same way we knew about it. Why was he not buried to the next grandmother of the other guy? Why was he to go be buried in a very cold area next to the mother-in-law, who is a white woman?
Now, another issue is the issue of trying to make this whole saga look like harassment of the Maggero family. That is the Maggero family in Sweden. That Kenyans are simply harassing the family, and that they should leave the Maggero family alone so that Maggero's soul can rest in peace. Now, do you think that this reaction is logical?
It's not logical. When we are talking of Maggero's family, Maggero has two families. Now, which family are we harassing? The white family that have kidnapped him from the other family, or the family that we are trying to fight for? Democracy came, and democracy goes both ways. Whether they are white, Maggero did not belong to them more. The DNA with those white children is the same DNA that black children are having down there. So why should they claim that Maggero belongs to them and we are harassing them? We are not harassing them. We are trying to do the right thing because we want to see justice also for the other black children. If we don't fight for our rights, the slave went away not fighting for their rights. They didn't even know their rights. We know our rights. And that's why we are fighting for the other children in Kenya for their right and to see the right of their father. Maggero has never denounced those children. Maggero has never divorced the black woman. How can the white woman claim that she was the wife? She has the right to say, we were two married women to Mr. Maggero, and we both have equal rights.
Now, there is also a group of Kenyans calling themselves liberated young Kenyans who say that the whole issue of trying to follow up these things is a waste of time, and that Kenyans really need to be liberated and leave this thing alone. What is your comment?
They might call themselves liberated young Kenyans, or they might be drug addicts young Kenyans. They might be brainwashed young Kenyans. Because any Kenyans without a culture, if you don't know where you are coming from, then you don't know where you are going to. These liberating young Kenyans, they don't know where they are coming from. How can they know where they are going?
Now, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I would like to say that whoever thinks that we are interfering with Mr. Maggero's family or Dagmar's family, we should leave them alone. They should give the other family the same equal right. The other family is not claiming for anything that Mr. Maggero has brought back, left behind. What they are claiming for is the right for them to bury their father. Because these ones here, they witness our father died and we have buried him. What of those who are in Kenya? They even don't know, did he really die? Will he ever come back? Maybe he's the one coming tomorrow with the next flight. What I'm asking, let them give the others the same equal right they would like to get. Now,
the Maggero Memorial function is been scheduled for February the 3rd. Do you think that Kenyans should organize another memorial, given that the official memorial by the Swedish family has already been done?
Yes. To start with, we were not invited officially, we were not informed officially by this family that Mr. Maggero died. If we couldn't have known through the sources we came to know that Mr. Maggero has died, they could have continued with their story and with all the tales and do whatever they wanted to do. Now, unfortunately, this is to Dagmar. Unfortunately, we knew Mr. Maggero has passed away. And we have to do it our way because she did it her way. She hid it from us. Why? We were not interested with anything, and we are not claiming we are not claiming anything from them. What we are claiming is to be read, no, to be informed. She can cremate the body, she can keep it in the fridge. We don't want to do anything with it. But we have the right to do what we always do as Kenyan.
Now
and this is why this memorial is very important because we have always been doing it. Any Kenyan doing here, we are always having gathering, the farewell of the deceased, the farewell of the dead man, and that's how we can rest him in peace, and that's how we can release him and say, really, he's gone.
Now, this issue has also put into focus the issue of black-white relationships, deaths, cremations, and what is to be done. What is your comment?
The comment is, when you get married to someone, it goes both ways. You have to release some 50% and the other one 50%. But if the blacks who are married to the white, whether man or women, I think if they are not careful, if they are not yet being brainwashed, if really they know what they are doing, let them write their will. Let them talk to a friend, not one, two. Otherwise, they are going to be kidnapped and be burned the same way Mr. Maggero has been done. I think this is the very high time for anybody to ask himself, am I really married to this woman to be burned? Am I really married to this man to be thrown in the river? Or are they going to offer their bodies for research? Let them ask themselves that question before it is too late.
So you think that the role Kenyans are playing at the moment is in order, and that is the best thing that could have been done under the circumstances?
I think the role that Kenyans are doing, they can't do anything better, because if we are to abandon this one, we are going to abandon each and everything that will be coming after this. This is a way of telling the whites who are thinking of kidnapping our Kenyans men and women that they are not going to be going away so easily as they are thinking.
If you were to address the Maggero family, the Maggero's Swedish family, what would you tell them?
I would like to tell them this. Mr. Maggero had a wife. So now we can say the first wife, married in the church, and still married because Mr. Maggero never divorced him. Mr. Maggero had a son who is still living in Kenya. They should give them the right to come and see where they have rested the body of their father with an invitation. If it is a matter of the ticket, if they can't afford, we are going to afford it.
Thank you very much for having accepted to conduct this interview on behalf of Kenya Stockholm Blog.
Thank you.